Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm sorry if I'm a little quiet today. My husband's in the next room sleeping and I don't want to be too loud. Today I have another foundation to share with you. It's one that I've been waiting a really long time to try, and it is the Makeup Atelier Waterproof Foundation. I have been waiting for this foundation to come back in stock since December, so I'm really excited to finally get my hands on it. I've had this foundation for about a week and a half now. As soon as Beautylish sent me the email saying it was back in stock, I ordered it. So I've been testing this for about a week and a half. So I do have my opinions on it, and of course I will get to that in a little bit. But let's talk about the actual foundation itself. So this is supposed to be waterproof, with high coverage, long lasting, and it's supposed to have a matte finish. I don't agree that it has a matte finish. It does have a matte finish if you use it with a brush, but if you use it with a beauty blender or any kind of damp sponge, it typically has more of a skin-like radiant finish. I do have highlight on my skin today, like right here on the cheekbones, on my chin, and that's pretty much it. That glow on my forehead is actually from the foundation, and I've even set the middle of my face with powder. I did not go in, I'll tell you in a second what I went in with on the rest of my face in a minute. This does retail for $32 on Beautylish, which is mid-range for foundation. You do get the standard 1 fluid ounce, so I feel like that's a pretty good price for the product. It's supposed to be formulated for all skin types, and it's supposed to have a sebum absorbing gel to help with sweat and oils. So if you are oily or you get sweaty throughout the day, it's supposed to kind of activate it and kind of absorb all of that. I personally have dry skin, like I've said a million times, so I don't know how well that actually works, but if you have more oily skin and you've tried this foundation, let us know down below how it's worked for you. For my dry skin, this foundation applies really nice. It doesn't necessarily cling on to dry patches unless you have really bad ones. I have a pretty severe one right here on my breakout right here, and it did cling to that, but even the most hydrating of foundations were going to cling to that dry patch that I have right there. So I don't think that's the foundation's fault, because it didn't cling on to the dry patches that I have on my nose. I am a little bit dry on my forehead right now, and it went on smoothly and beautifully. This foundation layers really well. I currently have 2 layers on my face today to get a fuller coverage. With 1 layer it is medium coverage, and then with 2 layers I feel like it's medium full, and then if you wanted to add a 3rd layer you can get full coverage. I would say that after the 3rd layer it does tend to get a little bit more cakey and more on the heavy side, but with 2 layers it stays really nice and thin, really nice and skin-like, and it just lays on the skin nicely. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut to me applying the foundation, and then I will be right back. Let's go ahead and get into the demo. I'm gonna go in with my Wayne Goss number 13 brush on one side, and then my L'Oreal makeup sponge on the other. So yeah, let's get started. As per normal, I don't have any primers on my face, so So here's a close-up of my skin after 2 layers of the foundation. It's looking pretty good. It has a nice, not matte, but like a skin-like finish. It's not settling into my pores at all, and it does cling on to dry patches just a little bit. I have a really dry patch right here where I had a breakout. It's not covering it up completely, but to be honest, nothing's really wanting to stick to it at the moment. So I think concealer will work to cover that up, but it covered up and evened out my skin tone really nicely, and it was really buildable. I would say that you get a medium full coverage out of this. It is still a little tacky, but it is drying down. But overall, at the moment, it looks really nice. I'm really liking it. It makes my skin look really smooth. And I'm back. So, as you guys can see in the demo, it goes on pretty smoothly and pretty quickly. It blends out well. It just has like a really nice texture to it. Like I said, I have worn this for the past week and a half, and it wears really, really nicely. I am going to do a wear test today. You guys are seeing me with my ring light and natural light at the moment. It's pretty sunny out today, so it'll be a good day for it. So now you guys are zoomed in and you can see what it looks like with all of my makeup on. I did a really simple makeup look. It's just simply bronzer and mascara today. That's what's on my eyes, as well as bronzer. And then my lips are done, of course. But yeah, it looks really, really smooth. It hasn't sunk into my expression line where foundations can typically sink in right here. It looks really nice on my cheek area, really smooth. And like I said, the only patch that I have that was really, really dry was this patch, and it clung to it, but it was expected to cling to it because nothing is so dry right there that everything is going to cling to it. But yeah, it looks stunning. It looks really nice. Just so you guys know, the stuff that I have on the rest of my face, I have on the actual concealer that goes with this foundation, the Makeup Atelier concealer, and I have this in FLWAIV Ivory. This, I believe, is the lightest shade in the concealer. It's more of a yellow toned. They might have a pink tone one too, but they have a really good shade range in the concealer as well. But yeah, it comes with your typical doe foot. It doesn't dispense a lot on the doe foot, which is kind of annoying, but it'll get you there. I also have on some of the Becca because this is pretty light coverage. It does a decent job, but it is really, really light coverage. But yeah, I will be wearing this today as well. I've had this for about 3 months now, and I really, really like this. Obviously, I didn't return it. So I do really, really like this concealer as well if you wanted to order this at the same time. This retails for $18, and it has a really good it has a really good shade selection as well as color correctors. So yeah, I do recommend the concealer as well. It's more in the drier texture, so I feel like it would do well with oily skin as well as my dry skin. To set the concealer, which was right up underneath my eyes, I do have a little bit on this spot right here and a little bit of my chin, my forehead. I use the Honest Beauty blurring powder. It's my go-to powder right now. I've just been really enjoying it. So yeah, I set my face with this. And then for bronzer, I used the Chanel Soleil Tan de Chanel or whatever, you know, the gel cream powder bronzer stuff. It works really well with bare skin tones. I really like it. It has a nice texture. And then to set all that, I actually use my Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow. I use both the highlight and the bronzer on my face. That's what's on my eyes. That's what's on my cheeks. I don't have any blush or anything contour today. It's just this. So yeah, I've been getting a lot of use out of this. I really like this too. And then on my lips, I have a couple of different products. I have Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat and Pillow Talk. Mine's getting really small, but I've been procrastinating buying a new one because I'm trying to use it up and use other lip pencils in my collection before I rebuy that. And then I also have a combination of the Fiona Styles Hydra Shine in Luella, which is this pretty neutral pink color. And then I have Park Avenue Princess from Tarte lipstick, and this is like on clearance for like $10 right now, which is, I bought this a couple months ago and I really like it. It's sheer, a lot like the Fiona Styles. It has like a cooling menthol feel to it, but it's just a really nice nude that layers up well but is still sheer. So yeah, so it's currently 11:15 right now. I will probably be doing my next check-in within the next few hours. I've already had this foundation on my face for about an hour and a half now, and it's doing really, really well. So yeah, I will see you guys at the next check. So I have been out doing errands throughout the day. I just got back. My hair looks a lot nicer because I went to the hair salon, and when you go to the hair salon, they always do your hair so much better than you can actually do your hair. at least in my case. But yeah, so the foundation is holding up really well, as I knew it would, because like I said, I've been wearing it for a week and a half. I haven't had any issues with it looking cakey or even more dry or patchy, and it just looks really, really nice. I will zoom in. It is currently, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's 4:41. I finished my makeup right around 9:18, 9:20, so we'll say 9:30. So this foundation has been on for a little over 7 hours, and it's still holding up really, really well. It's been in the 60s. It's been sunshine, windy all day, so my hair's been flapping around. But I'll zoom you in. The concealer is just now starting to fade right here underneath my eyes, but it doesn't look cakey or crepey or heavy or anything. But this is the foundation after 7 hours of wear. It has sunk into my expression line just a little bit. Not too bad though. But yeah. I still have, there's some hair there from my haircut. Ignore that. I still have quite a few errands to run. I'm actually just coming home really quick to film this before I go run the other ones, touching up my lipstick and stuff. I have to go get groceries, so. But anyways, I will be wearing this foundation probably for another 3 to 5 hours, somewhere in there. I don't know how much longer. But I'll do a check-in once again tonight before I wash it off. If I didn't say so, this is in natural lighting right now. Earlier was with my ring light and natural light, so there's a lot of light earlier. And then later tonight, of course, it'll be with just my ring light. And if I happen to check in before it gets dark, maybe some more natural lighting, I don't know. But yeah. So far, so good. Love this foundation. So this foundation has been on since 9:30 this morning. So it's been on for 11 hours since it is currently 8:30, if you guys can see that. So for me, this foundation has really done everything that it had claimed to do. It's held up really well on my skin. Just again, I have dry skin, so let me know if you have oily skin and how it does for you. It has decent coverage and it's just really long lasting. I'm going to zoom you guys in so you can see. So this is what my skin looks like by the end of the night. It's hardly faded at all. All of my powders that I have put on top, my bronzer, which is the only thing that I wore today, it's still intact. It looks a little bit more orange in camera, but I think it's due to my ring light and the way that it's focusing. But my face still looks smooth and it still looks nice. The concealer, however, has faded even more since my last check-in, which has been about 4 more hours. So it's starting to really fade, but I've had that foundation for about 3 months and it's steadily, no matter what I set it with, no matter what I do, it usually fades around starts fading around the 4 to 5 hour mark, and then it starts going downhill from there. It doesn't look awful, but it does indeed my dark circles start to show through. But yeah, it's just the normal wear around my nose right here where I had tissue rubbing my nose. It's actually been really cold again here in Ohio. So yeah. And then it's still slightly covered on my bump. That's my dry spot right there, and as you can see, it's slightly caking. So I would say if you have a lot of dry spots, a lot of really dry spots on your face, by the end of the day, you probably will look a little bit heavier, a little bit more cakey. But on my skin, where I do have a few dry spots, particularly I usually get them on my nose, but my nose looks really nice, my cheeks look really nice, my chin looks nice, my forehead looks nice, and at the end of the day, I would still go out and wear this makeup out to dinner or wherever I was going to go. So it's holding up really well, it's really impressive, and yeah, I would definitely give this foundation a look. Like I said, you can only find it on Beautylish at the moment, and I believe you can find it on the Makeup Atelier website. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this foundation so far this past week and a half, and I would recommend you picking it up, or I believe if you were to message them and ask them for a consultation about this product on Beautylish, or if you were to inquire about samples, I think From what I've read from other reviews, that they have sent out samples before in different colors, so you could shade match to purchase this. But yeah, definitely check it out. It's definitely worth a go if you were interested in this from the Wayne Goss video. Right now, I believe pretty much all the shades are in stock except for like 2 or 3 of the darker shades. Those are still out of stock. But yeah, it's a really great foundation. I have no complaints. I'm really liking it so far. I think that was everything that I wanted to say. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful, and I will see you later.